Alrighty, you're gonna have to bear with me. I've got a little bit of a head cold, not COVID anyway. My V6 Slim, which has been an absolute trooper, has finally decided to give up. Now, we've been having an issue where you use the motorized head, you turn the machine on, and it will run. You can see the motor turning for about 2 or 3 seconds, then it pauses, then it turns itself back on again, but the motor isn't actually turning. So typically that happens when it's got like a buildup of hair or whatever, and you need to cut through the hair on this bar, etc., etc. We've cleaned it, we've taken it apart to the normal extent, which is basically you pull the end cap off, you pull the bar out, physically out, and you clean it out, and then clean any debris out of the unit, etc., etc. That didn't fix the problem. So the next step would be to fully disassemble the motorized head and see what the problem is. Now, Dyson don't want you to do this. They would rather just sell you a replacement complete head and be done with it. They will only sell you the components. So they'll sell you this. They'll sell you an end cap and that end stop piece. And they will sell you the complete unit as well. Now, it's not too expensive. The complete unit was, I'm going to use Australian prices as of 2022. The complete head is 125, and these smaller components were obviously a lot cheaper than that. But needless to say, this whole unit is 5-6 years old. They're getting on in years. I think there's a V7 that you can get at the moment for around $450 or so, and that's a complete whole new unit. So again, you'd kind of weigh up what you're going to do. You're going to replace that. You've still got an old battery here. Yes, I've had that battery replaced under warranty, but still it's not brand new. Or do you want to get another whole 5 years of, great service out of it and maybe get an upgraded newer version? So only you can make that call. But anyway, what I've done is disassemble this entire unit, and I've found the culprit. So I've gone down to the point of removing the motor and then removing the belt out of the motor with the gear set. And this unit here is the actual problem. So this bearing, it looks like this when you have it together. So it looks like that, and then it attaches itself on the other side of this. Sorry, the other way around. It sort of slides in there. And that's what the unit looks like with the whole motor complete. Probably more so like this because you see it in the pictures like this a lot online. That's how it's sold. That unit complete is, depending on where you get it, there's on AliExpress for $20, $30 plus $10, $15 shipping, so about $50 by the end of it, I'd say. You'd land one, and that's brand new. As Chinese it would be. I'm sure these are all made in China to some degree of quality control, of course, being a Dyson product. They would probably be more stringent than the ones that you buy out of the factory. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. It could be nothing, but they're all made in China or Thailand or something. There's the Dyson part number that I used to reference this was this part number here. I don't know if you can read that in the video, but it is T103152. And it essentially came up with links to buy this entire motor piece. The problem is hair has gotten its way into that bearing, into the seal of that bearing, making this extremely difficult to turn. So much so that this is snapped off. So this was actually one piece. It bolted. It was, one piece, and that was right down level with the surface of this. And as I've been trying to pull it out, I have snapped it off. So that's my fault. But I wanted to replace that bearing, which is full of hair and extremely hard to turn. It actually has a bearing part number on it, which most bearings do. You can sort of see the makings of that in there. You'd need to actually pull the bearing out and read that, but you'd be able to replace that at any local bearing shop. So I thought, you know, beauty. For $2 worth of bearing, I might be able to replace that. But lo and behold, I snapped this off, so I can't do anything with that now anyway. So, and that's actually quite a high torque piece. That's not going to be a simple case of super gluing it and putting a screw in it, or, you know, whatever the case might be. Look, it might hold it for a little bit, but I dare say that's going to snap it off, even if I do get this out and get it apart. Looks like there might be some sort of retainer clip that I need to try and work out how to pull that bearing out with. But look, that's where I'm at. That was the problem. So the hair has eventually made its way through this, you know, down into the head. You can see it's dirty as hell. Like, I haven't even really cleaned it much. All I've done is air blow, you know, with the compressor, blow all the dust and stuff out so you can see all the components. And the bearing itself is just loaded up with hair to the point where it's almost seized. You can see how much hair is in there. It's pretty full on. No matter how much WD-40 or lubricant that you spray in there, without getting that hair out or replacing that bearing, it's not going to do much good. So that's why it stopped the motor. Like I said, I can do also, I've got a couple of options: replace the motor, replace the motorized head, buy one of these off AliExpress and wait for 2037 for it to arrive, buy an entire new unit. I called Dyson themselves to see what we can do. Like I said before, they would only sell me these components completely. These bits that I don't, well, I probably do need, but that's not what the problem is. And they also, because I'm an existing customer, they also offered me a 25% discount on the entire range for an upgrade. So I could go ahead and buy a V7 for 25% off retail. I could go and buy one of the big, you know, what do they call them? Out size with the massive 2-liter bin on it and everything. I could buy one of those for like about $1,000, $1,049. I think they're in shops for like $13.99 at the moment. So it pays to maybe give them a call and see what the problem is and say, look, this is the problems that I'm having, and they can give you a couple of options. They don't want you to take it down to this component level. All I needed was a T10 Torx bit to basically take out all of these screws, which was holding the entire unit together. So it wasn't complex by any means to do, but nonetheless, they still don't want you taking it down to this component level because they can't control how you put it back together and whatnot. They only want to replace the bits that are consumer friendly and call them if there's any issues. So that's the vacuum cleaner still works, still fine. So although I think that battery might be on its way out again. So again, there's a bit of a fault light there when you put it on max. So I don't think there's much hope for this unit. It's done its dash. What else can I say? They're a fantastic machine, honestly. Aside from, you know, the odd replacement part here and there, it is definitely the best vacuum cleaner I have ever owned. Anything in the Dyson range, I would hand on heart say is worth the money. Yes, you will pay a premium for it, but the customer service, the warranty, you know, this, if it was maybe 1 or 2 years newer, they could have given me a new one of these under warranty, but because this is 5+ years old, they did give me a main body and a battery, if you look at my other videos, under warranty, and it was just outside of the 2-year warranty, but they gave it to me anyway. And that was 2.5, 3 years ago. And that's the only reason why they won't give me one of these under warranties, because look, it's 5 years old, but like I said, they offered me a 25% discount on their entire range. So Dyson, #1 for quality, absolutely. #1 for customer service when it comes to vacuum cleaners, absolutely. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, I can probably order one of these for $25 or $50 by the time it lands, but still the battery issue. It's an old unit, so I'm probably just going to upgrade it and retire this one. Probably to the wheelie bin, unfortunately. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I've managed to share some insights. Cheers.